This starts a series of videos focused on the IP tables command. This command is used for both firewalls and masquerading. What it's used for depends on the first switch and option. For example, if you see IP tables -t NAT, that's a reference to network address translation, usually known as masquerading. If you don't see a -t switch, IP tables has a default -t filter. That refers to net filtering. In that case, the IP tables command is acting as a filter for incoming packets, thus the firewall. Let's see how I've configured my firewall in the etc/sysconfig/IP tables configuration file. It's normally created with the security level configuration tool. And as you can see, there are 4 chains in this firewall, and they have different functions. One is for input, another is for packets and data that are forwarded, another is for packets and data coming from the local system that's going out. The fourth is what's created by the security level configuration tool. As you can see from the first 2 of these tools, any data that comes in jumps directly to this particular chain. Any data that's forwarded also jumps to this chain. So it's sort of an amalgamation of firewall rules that would otherwise be seen in 2 other chains. The rules that follow include some standard IP tables rules. They wouldn't change based on normal settings in the security level configuration tool. For example, if input, that's the -i, comes from the loopback adapter, that input is automatically accepted. That's followed by a rule associated with the protocol ICMP. That's the protocol most commonly associated with the ping command. And if you run the ping command, that's automatically accepted. The next 2 protocols are associated with TCP/IP ports 50 and 51. These enable encapsulation for virtual private networking. And those are accepted by default, but if you don't want virtual private networking, those are 2 rules that might be deletable. The next rule specifies how packets associated with the UDP protocol, which go to destination port, that's D port 5353, with the destination multicast address of 224.0.0.251, are automatically accepted. But what is that? That's actually associated with multicast DNS services. The next 2 firewall rules allow systems from within your network to send messages through port 631, and that's associated with CUPS, the Common Unix Print System. It allows you to send and receive messages from remote printers. This directive, based on connections that are already established, accepts other connections that those established services may send through other TCP/IP ports. Now for the meat of the firewall, those services that you may configure through the Security Level Configuration tool. Destination port 22 is associated with the secure shell. In other words, this rule accepts connections through the secure shell. The following 4 directives are associated with Samba connections. Ports 137 through 139 supports various types of NetBIOS connections, and port 445 enables the actual Samba or Common Internet File System share. Finally, this last directive rejects all other packets. If nothing else is matched, then this directive blocks the communication and thus your firewall.